When I was a kid, this was the best of the best.
Fast forward almost 30 years later.
The new alternate arts are a complete attack on all of your senses. I mean, just take a look at this thing. The alternate art style were featured in the last few sets of Sun and Moon and came back in 2021 with battle styles after somehow being absent through the first year of the Sword and Shield era. Totally hosing those early sets, in my opinion.
What's up, dude? Yeah, dude. Help out this crowd, brother.
And now with Crown Zenith, I think we're entering a no turning back type of situation when it comes to the artworks. I mean, seriously, guys, what's next? Is it going to be holograms? Are there going to be cards that can make noise? Is it going to be like push this button and you go down this path, or push this button, you go down that path with your card? Are the cards going to have ages? Are the Pokemon going to get older? Maybe you'll get a digital card where the Pokemon will evolve with you, like some kind of a mini Game Boy Tamagotchi deal. What I think we need to do before answering the question of whether or not alternate arts are actually destroying Pokemon, we need to go back to actually understand where we are right now. So the first type of card I want to talk about, guys, is probably one that a lot of us have a very nostalgic feel for, and that's just the regular holo. We're talking about any card from base set Fossil, Jungle, base set 2, Team Rocket, any of those. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the window frame type of hologram. The rest of the card looks the same except the holographic portion of it behind the card, and there's only a select few. Now, back in the day, 1 in every 3 packs had this holo, so you were pretty much guaranteed at least 12 holos within one sealed booster box of, let's say, base set. This is what I grew up with. This was the cream of the crop. If you saw that sparkle, you knew it was going to be a good day. Next one we got to talk about are gold stars. This may be something that a lot of you guys don't know about. This is the absolute tops for me when it comes to rarity and cards that I used to chase from older sets. One thing that all gold stars have in common is that they actually exit the border. Having the border was always kind of a mainstay in Pokemon, and they started to actually branch out where they're breaking that fourth wall or breaking that dimensional boundary that they had by being inside of that window frame. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single gold star will have some portion of the Pokemon or attack or something that's actually exiting the frame of the card itself. Along with that, they introduced the EX cards. The EX cards now had the Pokemon re-enter the picture frame, but now they put holographic foil on the entire card. This thing was like electric sex looking at it for the first time. It was beautiful. These are some of my favorite types of cards. Still the old school feel, but they made the whole thing bedazzled somehow. Next, we go into level X, and this, in my opinion, is the beginning of the devaluation of the holo card. So what I mean by that, guys, is now with level X, they still have holos, but they almost feel like consolation prizes. And the same thing holds true to this day. Like when you pull a holo card out of a regular set, you have V cards, full art trainers, alternate arts, hyper rares, gold cards, even secret rares. I mean, the list goes on. When you pull a holo, it's like, you almost feel like, why do we even have a holo anymore? I don't know if that makes sense, but it just feels like a consolation prize, kind of. So they said, okay, we'll break the fourth wall, but in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they just went ahead and just made the entire card into the Pokemon card. What I'm talking about are the legend cards. You guys have seen these. They actually make them 2 pieces of the same puzzle to make one huge ginormous card, which was also a new function to the game. Think of it more of like a destroyer card. You get these 2 together, it's over. It's like when Dana met Lewis in Ghostbusters. It's always a bad idea. Now we're entering the era of screw all the framing. Let's just make the entire card the Pokemon. You have your first full art card in the white Reshi and black Zekrom that were in base set black and white. For many people, this is a huge chase card. For me, also tops. I love this card. It's almost like yin and yang, good and evil, 2 sides of the same coin. I love these 2 cards, and they're still very affordable as far as I'm concerned for being such a pivotal moment in the TCG itself. And here we go with the EX. The EX attack is back, Jack. So Next Destinies brings back the EX card. You might want to go back and take a look at these. These cards were stunning when they first came out. I remember looking at an EX card and I was like, I don't even know that I accepted it at first because it was just so ridiculous. It was 3-dimensional, which was so cool about it. They tried that type of feel, I think, in previous cards with like level X's, but this really felt like it was just actually coming off the page. And now I've grown to love them, and there's just no other way in my opinion. So I know that I'm thinly canvassing years and years and multiple artworks, and there's cards that I'm not mentioning, I get that, but I'm just trying to do an overall gist view of where we've come from to where we're going. I mean, you can see in a pretty decently short amount of time, they've made leaps and bounds, and it almost feels like there's no place to go. Like, one question that I have in my head is like, we had the telegram, we had telephone, we have the internet now. Like, what is past the internet for communication? You know what I'm saying? So now this brings us to alternate arts. I don't know where we go from here. Even the newer alternate arts out of Crown Zenith or the SARs, we'll say out of V-Star Universe, they're absolutely insane. I see them incorporating certain aspects of previous cards when it comes to like the shattered glass almost feel or the shiny texture of the new Scarlet and Violet cards, like the Gyarados in particular is absolutely stunning. So they're bringing the EX back, obviously, and they're incorporating these other aspects. I just don't know how we get better. Like, what is above this? Is the card going to have multi-dimensions? I know I like kind of kid around in the beginning and I said, is it going to be a hologram? Is it going to literally come off the page? Is it going to make noise? Is it going to grow as you go? Is it going to change with time? I might be the first person saying it, but is it that hard to believe that that might be where the card is going? So I guess it's time to answer the question that I posed at the beginning of the video. I don't think that alternate arts are ruining Pokemon. If anything, the contrary. It's bringing more and more eyes to the TCG. It's keeping people like me that are engaged, where I came from literally zero, or what feels like zero now, which is just a regular holo, but I still personally love those old school holos, level X's, original EX cards. I almost feel more attached to them now looking at the alternate arts, even though I still want them, but it makes me love those old ones even more, and more so because you can't get more of them. There's a finite amount of them, and people opening vintage packs day in, day out makes me feel like my vintage cards are just creeping up in value little by little because of that reason. So there you have it, guys. I just wanted to show you a fun take and a trip down memory lane of all these different artworks. I mean, we sometimes forget how far we've come in so little time, and it hasn't spanned the entire 30 years. We've made leaps and bounds, in my opinion, in the last 10 years, and I really can't wait to see what the next 10 years look like. If you guys are enjoying this episode, hit all the buttons, guys. We're going to 100,000. Put rockets on this shit because I can't do it without you guys. I'll see you on the next live or the next episode. Peace!
Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time to hit the button already. Do it now. What do you think, I'm dancing for free here?